welcome to IAC Videos. I'd like to start off by asking a question, so let me ask you a question. Are you feeling today that you're tired, that you're not as on fire for God as you used to be? You know, you've looked at yourself and things don't seem to be going quite as well. Things aren't working out and you feel that you're not talking to people, you're not talking about the gospel. You know what I'm saying? When you just feel that whatever you do, it just feels like you're labouring and it's not as easy and it doesn't feel as exciting and as fresh and as new as it did before, maybe years ago when you first started out. Well, let me give you a bit of encouragement. You're normal. You're absolutely, perfectly normal, because it's called life, and life does happen to you. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to read stories that motivate and uplift me, and I want to read one to you just now. Just listen to this. Picture a big ship being worked on in dry dock. Beneath the waterline is all the junk it has picked up during its voyages. Nobody can see it, but an experienced captain can, and he can feel it because his ship lacks the oomph it once had. As a result, companies complain that it takes too long to get goods to their customers, and the ship's owners are unhappy because it hurts profit margin in a competitive market. The effort required to remove the junk is backbreaking and time-consuming, but there's no other way to do it. Finally, after months of hard work, the dry dock is flooded with water. The gates open and the big vessel heads out to sea and back into the profit column. Writing to the believers at Corinth, Paul says, "Examine yourselves as to whether you are in the faith. Test yourselves." And he said here, let's be honest. It's easier to examine your neighbour than to examine yourself, or to talk about what you once accomplished rather than what you're accomplishing now. Are you slowing down? Are you losing spiritual momentum? Are you in the profit or loss column? Now, the one thing I want to say is simply this. You know, maybe, just maybe today, you're in that dry dock because over time, you know, as I said earlier on at the start of this message, life is life and life happens to you, and you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be realistic. You know, life happens. It's not always going to go on where you're totally on fire every day, every week, every month, because life happens to you. You get hurt, things change, problems happen, family happens, life happens. Maybe you've lost your job, maybe you've lost a relationship. You know, things in life happen, and you have to be honest. It does have an effect on you, and God knows this. But one of the things that I want to point out to you is that maybe you started reading things that aren't doing you any good, looking at things. Maybe you're harbouring thoughts. Maybe life has really had a go at you, because as we all know as Christians, the enemy of our soul is Satan, and he will have a go at you, and he's very sly and he's very cunning. Now, I don't want to give him any kudos or build him up, but he's not stupid. He's the enemy of our souls for a reason, and life does happen to us, and we do feel a lot of things. You know, we feel upset, you know, when things don't go our way, when life doesn't go how it once did. You know, we tend to start to think, well, what about me? What's happening? Why is this happening? Well, like I said, life happens, and maybe, just maybe you're in the dock today, you're in the dry dock today, because God is saying to you, you need to come in. You see, like we read about the ship, there was no simple way to get the stuff off the bottom of the ship. There was no easy way to do it. You can't do it while it's travelling. It has to go into dry dock. It has to be worked on for weeks and weeks and months, because over the years, junk, as it says, has built up. And in life, junk will build up in your life very, very slowly. You won't notice it at first because you're on fire. And it's like if you don't train, you miss one day, then you miss 2 days, 3 days. But slowly but surely, you know, every time you miss a day, you've got to remember you're getting a day older. Then a year passes and you're a year older. It's not so easy to do what you once did. So we need God. We need to get rid of that junk So really what I want to say to you today is that don't despair, don't lose hope. You know, as we said, as we saw in what we read, that the ship had to go into dry dock. It had to be cleaned of all the junk. There was no other way there was no simple, easy remedy. It had to go in, whether the owners liked it or not. You know, if the ship had not gone into dry dock, what would have happened? Well, quite simply, it would have picked up more and more and more junk. Eventually, it would have come to a standstill, and they would have probably had to have bought a new ship. You know, that's a heck of a cost. So really what I'm trying to say to you today is look at yourself. Yes, maybe you're getting older. Yes, maybe things have happened to you. Life has happened to you. You know, you think that you're not going on so well for God. But I want to encourage you with this, and I found that in my own personal life, there is a time for everything. Now, you may have been going on for God, speaking to people, you know, sharing the gospel, like I did once, you know, talking to lots of people at work, in my job. But then comes a time when God says, things have changed. There's a different path that I want you to take. You know, there's something different I want you to do. You've learned a lot of stuff. I want you to use it in a different way. Maybe, I mean, like me, at one time I wrote a lot of stuff. Now, as I've said in other videos before, I'm now making videos like this one. I'm sharing my faith through a different avenue, through the phone like this. You know, I'm doing something different. But as I do each of these videos, I feel more and more that I'm gaining back that where I was on fire for God. You know, I feel that it's starting to rise again because I'm doing something that I love. I love sharing my faith about Jesus Christ. This is a different avenue. So just two things. Firstly, you're normal. There is nothing wrong with you, and life has happened. But be honest, just sit, take a bit of time out and think to yourself, well, like we heard in that reading, maybe, just maybe, God is taking me into dry dock. Maybe he wants to clean away, like me and like everybody, the junk that has cluttered up our life, that is slowing us down. And then once he's done that, maybe, just maybe, he wants us to go on a different path. Do something different, share our faith differently. Now we've matured a little bit. Now we know some stuff. Maybe he wants to send us on a different avenue. So just be uplifted and be encouraged. You're normal, it's life, it happens. Don't give up, don't give in, do not despair. Just keep going. Talk to God. Let him change you, let him get rid of the junk. Give yourself time and understand that maybe, just maybe, he's getting you in the dry dock and he's taking away all the junk that has accumulated in your life, and then he'll put you back out and you'll be literally on fire on a new voyage, on a new channel, a new way, and you'll feel on fire once more for God. So I hope that's encouraged you today. Don't give in, keep going, and God bless you. Keep watching these videos, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.